Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning.
Good evening, all. I hope you all doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Is I'm
Yes,
audible?
good evening. Yes, you are on. Thank you.
Yeah, you can start the sessions.
Thank you. Hey guys, good evening. Let's recap what we have discussed in last class. So in last class we have first let me share my screen. Then it is easy to understand what we have discussed in last class. Yeah. See, if you look at the screen, in last class we have discussed about what is Docker, why Docker, no. What is Docker file? How to write a Docker file, and also how to what is Docker image? How to build a Docker image by using Docker file, and also what is Docker registry or Docker hub? How can able to create an account in Docker hub, or how can able to store our Docker images into Docker registry or Docker hub, and also we have discussed how to deploy a static web application in a container. So that is the thing we have discussed. Now we have discussed container lifecycle. See, we have discussed around 15 commands. These commands are called container lifecycle: Docker create, Docker run, Docker inspect, Docker exec, Docker logs, Docker pause, unpause, and Docker rm -if, Docker ps. See, all these commands we have discussed. What is the purpose of all these commands? Also, we have executed practical steps also. So this is all about yesterday's class. So yesterday we have discussed how to write a Docker file for static web application. Now today we are going discussing about how to write a Docker file for Node.js applications. How to write a Docker file for Node.js application. So firstly, what you need whenever you want to write any Docker file, not only for not Node.js application, you can take any application. Firstly, you need application source code, then our repository. So this is the main primary prerequisite whenever you want to write a Docker file. Then by using this repository, you can write a Docker file. Then you can build a Docker image. Then you can store your Docker image in Docker Hub registry. Then you can deploy your application in a container. So this is the steps you have to follow whenever you want to deploy any application in a container level. Okay. So first, let me Agarwal, can you share your credentials? Already I will just log in. You can just send me the verification code. I have your so let me log in into AWS account. Then I will create one server. Then on top of the server, I will install Docker. Then we will start how to write a. We will start discussing how to write a Docker file for Node.js application. Okay, don't bother about that. Okay. Let me provide. Okay, it's not asking any verification code. Not require your code. Yes, thank you, Agarwal. So first, let me try to set up create one server. Click on the launch EC2 instance. Let me provide a name for the server. I am choosing Ubuntu OS. It's very flexible for installing any command. If you don't know any command, you can just use Ubuntu OS. Just give a tool name, then it will give a command. Storage is up to 15 GB, is 14 GB is enough. Launch instance. Then let me connect my EC2 instance to the PuTTY server. Okay, still it is in pending. Yeah, it's running. Select, click on the continue, copy your host name of your server, then come to PuTTY server, just paste it here. Control V, then appearance, change 14, click on OK. Connection, let me give 60 seconds. SSH, auth, credentials, browse, sonotype 25, open, accept, maximize. So what is the first command whenever you log in any Linux server? What is the first command you have to execute? Sudo su. Now let me update application, my operating system. It's updating. Yesterday I have explained how to install Docker in a shortcut way, but today I will explain. Just 1 second. Just let me explain how to install Docker in official way. So search for Docker install on Ubuntu, then click on the first link. Slowly look for installation methods. Look for installation method. See, there is a first step. You need to set up a Docker repository. So copy all these commands, come to your server, just paste it, hit the enter. Now, meanwhile, go to the document, just copy the next command. You need to install Docker packages. Copy this command, come to the server, just paste it, hit the enter. See, it will ask, it is asking, do you want to continue? Just type a Y, hit the enter. So now you need to check the Docker version, whether it is installed or not. So how can you able to check the Docker version? What is the command? Docker space ---- version. I will explain you once it is installed. Okay, it's done. Just type Docker space ---- version. See, the version is visible. So now let me check the status of our Docker, whether it is running or not, or active or not. How can you check? Just the same command, service Docker status. Hit the enter. See, it is active and running. Now we can work on Docker commands. What is the first you need source code, right? So let me get one repository from my repository from my GitHub account. So now I'm going to writing a Docker file for this e-commerce cart page. So let me clone the repository. You know how to clone the repository. Now let me come to the git clone, mention your repository URL. See, it is cloning my repository into my server. If you give ls, there is a repository. cd space enter inside the repository. If you give ls, you can see Docker file. See, there is already Docker file. I will delete this Docker file. Then I will explain how to write a Docker file. So readme file, data folder, Docker compose YAML file, like a package.json file, public folder, service.yaml file. See, all these files are available. So now let me delete already exiting Docker file. Yeah, if you look at the screen, see there is no Docker file. I have deleted. So first let me explain how we can able to write a Docker file. See, let me go to the Visual Studio Code. Let me write a Docker file in Visual Studio Code. Then it is easy to understand. Come to here. First, let me give you a comment. Node.js application, Docker file. Let me give you a comment. Node.js application Docker file. So what is the first instructions? You can take any Docker file. The Docker file should start with from instructions only. So just let me type from, hit the enter. Then better to give name Docker file. Then only the syntax will be visible here. Otherwise it won't visible. So first let me give a name for this. Let me give you a name. Better to take our repository. Already we have one repository, right? Then it's better. Let me take repository. XLR 25 batch, yes. Let me open this repository. Let me come to here. Open folder. Go to Windows. Go to workspace. Open your repository. Yeah. See, already we have some files. So let me create one file. See, if you look at the screen, see, whenever I completed the Docker file name, here you can able to see Docker logo. Okay, that is the syntax you have to follow. Capital D, Docker file. See, 1 second, where it went. So let me prove, yeah. See, Docker file. For suppose, if I give, let me rename it. See, if I give small d, the Docker logo will be removed. See, no. Yeah, if I remove Docker or d, the Docker logo has been removed. Now let me enter. See, Docker file. Hit the enter. So now let me explain how to write a Docker file for Node.js application. So first, let me comment Node.js application Docker file. So what is the first instructions? From instructions, hit the enter. Okay. Then you need to specify the base image. See, what is the purpose of base image? That means whenever you want to deploy any application in a container, you should specify, you should provide a base image for your container. So that is the reason only we need to understand about from instructions. So how can you specify the base image for container for Node.js application? Just node colon latest. Just colon latest. So what is mean by Node.js colon latest? So what is mean by Node.js colon latest? So let me explain. See, this will set the base image for your Docker container, and also this node colon latest is the official image from the Docker registry. That means this node colon latest, the image is available in Docker registry. Then only it will work. So latest means, see here, what is the mean by latest? See, latest means you are pulling the most recent version of the Node.js image. So that is mean by latest. So next, go to the next instructions. So what is the next instructions? You need one a working directory. You need to specify a directory for your application, for your container. So how can you specify a directory? What is the command? What is the instructions? Work dir. Work dir. So this is the command here to. This is the instruction here to use for whenever you want to set up a work directory for your container. See, for starting web applications, you can use /app. But when it comes to, you can use for Node.js application also, but better to use USR SRC app. So you can use, better to use this type of directory. Okay. Now hit the enter. Now let me go to the next directory. See what is mean by work directory. See, it will set a working directory inside the container. So this is all about work directory. So now let me explain copy instructions. So how we can able to use these copy instructions. See, these copy instructions will help to copy all your configuration files, source code files from host machine to container machine. See, if you look at the screen, see here we have dependencies files, package.json, package.log.json. See, these two files will contain, you can take, for suppose, if you see in any file named .json, log, log.json, blindly remember these two files are containing your application dependencies. So you need to copy these two files dependencies into your container machine. So how can you, firstly you need to copy dependencies. So then you need to copy all your configuration files. So that means for that you need to specify two instructions, two copy instructions. So first let me specify how to specify a copy instructions for copying our application dependencies into our container machine. So let me come to the Visual Studio Code. So first you need to blindly remember, if you have to copy any dependencies of Node.js application, this is the standard command. So what is that? Package, then mention star symbol, then mention .json, then space dot /. So this is the command you have to use. So what is mean by package star.json /. So first let me explain. See that it will copy package. It will copy your package.json file and package-log.json file into your container. See, these copy instructions will help to copy your package-log.json file and package.json, these two files. Because of these two files are containing my application dependencies. So that is all about these instructions. Then what about this star? Let me explain. What about this star? See, the star is a wild card. The star will act as a wild card. So it will match as both package.json and package-log.json. That means if you are having package.json file, package-log.json file, see the star symbol will match your package.json file and package.log.json file. So that is the purpose of here I mentioned the star. So that is the about copy instructions. So this file define your application dependencies. So whatever I mentioned, copy a package.json, this file will define our application dependencies. So inside the package.json file. So that means this will run npm install inside the container. That means that is all about copy instructions. So now let me explain next instructions. See, whenever you want to deploy any Node.js application, you should install Node Package Manager. So how can you install Node Package Manager? Remember, if you don't install Node Package Manager for Node.js application, you cannot run any application. You cannot deploy any application. If you deploy, the application won't run. So that is the reason only you should understand about how to provide a command for installing npm inside your container. So you should use run command, run instructions. I clearly explained. Run instructions will help to run any command while creating the Docker image. So that is the purpose of run. So now let me explain how we can able to install a node package manager. That is all about npm. See, npm stands for node package manager. Then just specify npm install. So this command will help. This command will install all dependencies where you define inside your package.json file. That means npm install will install all dependencies which you define inside the package.json file. That is all about run npm install. So clear, we have a base image, we have a working directory, we are going to copying all our dependencies by using copy instructions. Then we are going to installing npm for our application. See, npm stands for node package manager. So that is all about run npm install. So it will install everything you need for Node.js application. Then you need to understand about, okay, see, these copy instructions will copy only your package.json file and package-log.json file. But what about remaining file? See, this file has your source code. This file has your source code. Node modules are available. Data folder is available. Server.json file. This is our application source code file. So without having the source code file, how can you run your application? So who will copy all these remaining files? For this these files we have specified. That's fine. Then what about remaining files? How can you specify? Let me explain. See, again, you need to understand about copy instructions. So that means again you have to use copy instructions. Then mention dot. See here what is mean by dot. See, first dot, here I mentioned two dots. See, this copy instructions copies all the remaining application files from your local directory into the container machine. That's fine. Then what about the first dot? The first dot is your source code. That means the first dot will tell to this Docker file, my source code is available in a current directory. So current directories, that is all about first dot. Then what about next to second dot? The second dot is the destination. You have to specify, you have to tell to the copy instructions, please copy all my source code from current directory to the current working directory inside the container. So the second dot will decide, second dot is the destination in your container to the working directory. That is all about second dot. That means these instructions into this location. So this is our current location inside the container. That is all about second dot. So first dot is our host machine current directory. That is all about copy instructions. So that's clear. Now what is the next one? You need to specify, you have to expose your application port number. How can you expose your application port number? That is all about expose. So we will use expose instructions for exposing any application port number. So where you can find out your application port number, yesterday I explained, port number will be decided by the only developers, not a DevOps engineers. So now let me go to the source code file. This is my source code file. Just open it. Look for application port number. See, there is a port number 3000. So you should specify this port number inside your Docker file. Let me specify the 3000. That's it. So we have a base image, we have a working directory, we have a copy instructions, we have a run instructions, we have a copy another copy instruction. Then we have expose application port number 3000. Then what is the next step? You should expose, you should tell to the Docker file, while creating the container, your application has to start. So who will start your application? By manually, you are not allowed to start your application. Docker shelf itself only need to start your application. So how can, for suppose, you are running your application even in your local server. So if you have a source code, if you want to run your application, generally we will use node space, then your source code file name you have to mention. What is our source code file name? Server.js. So let me mention server.js. So this command will help to run your application if you are running on a local server. But when it comes to container level, this command will not work. But you have to specify with the instructions. So how can you specify with the instructions? That is all about CMD. CMD instructions will execute any command, while creating the container. So that is all about CMD instructions. So now let me explain. Open the closure bracket, start double quotations or single quotations, then just type node, then give 1 comma, then give space, then again open double quotations, then you need to mention your server.js file. Okay, this is how you can able to specify the command while creating the container. So this is all about the Node.js application Docker file. Say from instructions, over the directory, copy instructions, run instructions, copy instructions, expose, CMD instructions. So we have discussed in detail how to write a Docker file for Node.js application. So this is all about this Docker file. So now let me copy this Docker file. Come to our server. Then give ls. See, create one Docker file. Just open it. Press I on your keyboard. Mention your Docker file. Okay. If anything, any type of mistake, from directory, copy, expose. Okay. Enter. Yeah. See, once your container will be created, we can able to see all our entire our repository inside our container working directory. Okay. Now let me build a Docker image. So what is the command to build Docker image? Docker build -t. Then you can give a name, whatever you want. For suppose it is an e-commerce application. So let me mention e-commerce. Then mention dot. Don't forget to mention dot while building the Docker image. The dot represents current directory. It will tell Docker file is available in a root directory or current directory. Now hit the enter. See, let's see what I failed to solve Docker file. Line. Okay, on line 9, there is an error. See, copy requires at least 2 arguments, but only one was the provided. So let me take. Yeah, there is an error. See, copy requires at least 2 arguments. Now give the space between the quotations. That's it. So now it will work. Okay, that is the error. Now come to our server. Just open your Docker file. Just give space between the dot. That's it. See, first dot will specify your host mission current directory. Second dot will specify your container current directory. Okay. Now let me close. Then build a Docker image. See, now it's building. See, it is forming layers. Docker file will form layers while building the Docker image. Without forming layers, Docker file cannot create any image. Cannot build any Docker image. Whatever we are seeing lines in a blue color, these all are layers. Still it is in building the image. See, fifth instructions, copy, dot. That's it. So now let me check the Docker image. What is the command for checking Docker images? Docker images command only. See, e-commerce latest image ID 14 seconds ago it has created. So now let me build a Docker image. So how can you? Let me create a Docker container. So how can you able to create a Docker container? What is the command? Docker run. Docker run will do two things. It will create a container. It will start a container. So -d. -d stands for daemon. That means you are going to running or creating your container in a background server. That is all about -d. Then provide a meaningful name. For suppose ecort. Ecort is my application, my container name. Then map your port number. So first thing you need to provide host port number. Then you need to provide container port number. Then you need to specify your image name. Okay, just let me name it. Now hit the enter. See, Docker container is created. So now how you can check whether it is created or not? You need to check Docker ps command. See, it is running up. It's up and running 8 seconds ago. So now let me before that, before accessing our application out of the server, you should check whether it is working or not properly within the server only. How can you check? For that, you need container IP address. So how can you get container IP address? What is the command? Docker inspect, then mention your container name, e-cart. Hit the enter. See, there is an IP address. By using this IP address, you can able to check whether your application is working or not. See, what is the command? Whenever you want to test any application, it is working or not within the server, the command is curl. So you need to provide a IP address. So copy the IP address, mention port number, container port number, not host port number, 3000. Hit the enter. See, it is giving our application source code. It's giving application source code. That means it is working. Properly. So now let me access my application out of the server. So come to here, copy. It is, yeah, here it is available. Now let me copy public IP address of my server. Now open new tab. Just copy, paste it, colon. What is the port number of our application? Host port number 3000. Let's see what will happen. Is showing the site cannot be reached. So why? Let me check port number, whether the port number is enabled or not. The service already, application is already running with the server. There is no any issue, but it is not accessing. Okay. Yeah. See, port number 3000 is not enabled. Only the port number 80, 9000, 8080, 22 is only enabled. So now you need to enable port number 3000. Then only it will be accessing. So click on the edit inbound rules, then add rule, go to the custom TCP, then provide your application container port number, then choose any your IPv4 address, save rules. Now go to the tab, just do refresh. See, now I can able to access my application. So let me provide the URL with you. Just try to access. If you are accessing, just confirm the chat box. Yes, I am accessing. Check out the chat box, everyone. Just try to access and confirm the chat box. Yes, thank you, Agarwal. Everyone try to access the application using the IP address, which I sent in the chat box. Yes, thank you, Subham. Only 2 participants are accessing the application. What about others? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for your responses. So this is how we can able to write a Docker file for Node.js application. Then we have to discuss about Docker disadvantages. Why we are going? We have discussed Docker disadvantages because the next level of application deployment. The next level of application deployment is Kubernetes cluster. That means in real time, finally, at the end of the day, your application has to be deployed in a cluster. That's fine. But why we are going with a container? Why we have to deploy our application in a container? Because of whenever you want to deploy any application in a Kubernetes cluster, firstly, it should be deployed in a container because of you should test the application whether it is working or not, or how the application is going to working. So what are the changes required? So what is the performance of my application? See, all these things you have to check. So that is the reason only you should deploy your application in a container. So that's why we have discussed about what is Docker, why Docker, what is Docker file, Docker image, all these things. Okay, so now if you want to discuss about Kubernetes, you should understand about some Docker disadvantages. So then only it is easy to understand what is Kubernetes, why Kubernetes. So now let me first explain what are the Docker disadvantages. Docker disadvantages. Docker disadvantages. Docker disadvantages is, let me increase the font size. So first thing you should understand about Docker container. Docker containers are lightweight. Docker containers are lightweight. This is the one disadvantage. This is the reason we are going with cluster. Then containers are not self-sufficient. Containers are not self-sufficient. So what is meant by self-sufficient? For suppose if any container crashing, automatically the Docker will not repair the container. If any container crash, if any container got down, by default, Docker will not repair the container. So that is the reason only I'm telling containers are not self-sufficient. So then what is the next disadvantage? That is all about containers are Docker will not handle Docker will not handle self-healing. Let me will not support self-healing. So what is meant by self-healing? That means if any container got deleted, immediately, for suppose there is application, my application is running on container. For maintaining, for keep running my application, I should maintain 10 containers. See, for suppose if any container got deleted, I will get application downtime. See, if any application, if any container got deleted, what Docker has to do? It is need to do, it has to create, or it has to create another container in the place of a deleted container. So for not getting application downtime. But Docker will not support self-healing. That means if any container got deleted, Docker will not create any container within a fraction of seconds for not getting application downtime. So that is all about Docker. Docker will not support self-healing. Then Docker will not handle Docker will not handle load balancer. So what is, already we have discussed what is the load balancer, why load balancer. So now I don't want to specify more about this load balancer. That means whenever towards your application, better to explain with the flow chart. Then it is easy to understand. So let me take one flow chart. Let me explain how Docker will not handle the load balancer. How the Docker will not handle the load balancer. Just assume if this is my Flipkart application or Amazon application. This is one e-commerce application. This is one of the e-commerce application. E-commerce application. Okay. Okay. User, there is a user. User is available here. Now he is trying to accessing my e-commerce application by using the URL. By using the URL. That's it. Then the first request will go to the DNS. In the first beginning, in the first, I think second day of class, I explained. So DNS, then it will check the IP address of your application. IP address of your application. So first request will be, it will go to the DNS. Okay. See, once the registered IP address is available with this host name in DNS, then it will give response back. Then it will give response back. Then user can able to access the application. The request will goes to the directly application, but there is no load balancer. That's why Docker will not handle any load balancer. So now let me explain. Let me get containers. Let me get containers. Okay. It's not getting the container. So let me get the Docker logo. Docker, yeah, this is the Docker logo. So let me take screenshot of it. Come to here. Let me adjust. So here I have multiple containers. I have multiple containers. I have multiple containers. Yeah. See, there is application. In normal days, towards my application, in normal days, towards my application, traffic is only 1 lakh, 1 lakh only. So in normal days, 1 lakh customers trying to access it my application. Okay, that's fine. Okay, the 1 lakh customers will handle these 9 containers. Well, 1 lakh customers traffic will handle these 9 containers for managing my application successfully. For suppose the request is increasing. The request is increasing up to, when it comes to offer season, festival season, it will the request is increasing up to 5 lakh users. See, 5 lakhs users are trying to accessing my application. So what will happen? See, if for suppose there is no any load balancer, there is no any load balancer. Let me name it. There is no any load balancer for your application. You are not implemented any load balancer for your application. The request will go to the only few servers because of there is no any guider to distribute the traffic. Only it will the traffic will goes to the traffic will go to the traffic will go to the only few servers. Okay, remaining servers are running successfully, but the traffic is not going to the servers. So what will happen? The traffic is increasing more, only few servers. So that time country will be crashed. Country will be crashed. Country will be deleted. So that time definitely you will get application downtime. Definitely you will get application downtime. So for resolving this issue, that means Docker will not resolve this issue. That means Docker will not handle any load balancer for distributing the traffic. So this is all about what is the Docker will not handle load balancer. So now let me. I will not utilize the other Docker without load balancer. That means if you are not utilize the load balancer for other Docker containers, no, I didn't get your question. You can specify. You can provide your question. That it is easy to understand what is your question. Okay. Now let me go to the next concept. So that is all about Docker will not handle. Docker will not handle. Yeah. So it is not compatible with load balancer. Yes. Now, what Docker will not handle? Autoscaling. See, someone asked, there is a autoscaling concept in schedule. So now let me explain autoscaling. So Docker will not support or will not handle or will not support autoscaling. So what is mean by autoscaling? So first let me explain what is autoscaling. See, autoscaling is nothing but firstly you need to understand about vertical autoscaling. Vertical autoscaling. Then you have to understand about horizontal autoscaling. Horizontal autoscaling. See, what is mean by horizontal autoscaling? What is mean by vertical autoscaling? So let me explain. See, for suppose there is application. There is application. My application need, see, every application need some CPU. See, every application need CPU, ROM, RAM. So this is all about. For suppose my Flipkart. Let us take my Flipkart application. See, my Flipkart application has 4 CPUs, and 10 GB RAM, 10 GB RAM, and 100 GB storage, 100 GB ROM. So this is the actual configurations, actual specifications of for my Flipkart application. So based on these specifications, based on these resources, my Flipkart application will handle around up to 5 lakh customers request. See, 5 lakh customers request will handle. For suppose the request will increase. For suppose, let me say, For suppose the traffic will increase up to 10 lakh. The traffic will increase up to 10 lakh. So what will happen if you are not increasing that CPUs based upon the request, if you are not increasing RAM, if you are not increasing ROM, so that time your application will be run out of storage. Application will be run out of storage. So that time what will happen? Definitely, then your application will get down. You will get down. Then customers will switch to the another application. So how can you know this time only traffic is increasing, this time only traffic is decreasing? You are not aware of it is not possible to understand. 10 a.m. traffic is going to increasing. 12 p.m. traffic is increasing. Traffic going to increasing. Again during 6 p.m. traffic is going to increasing. Again night 10 p.m. traffic is going to increasing. See, based upon the traffic fluctuating, you need to increase the resources of your application. It may be CPUs, it may be RAM, it may be ROM. So how can you implement all these things automatically? You have to automate this all process in real time. You are not. It is difficult to increase CPUs, RAM, ROM by manually. So that is the reason only we have to understand about auto-scaling concept. If you implement auto-scaling concept to your application, you don't bother about whenever traffic is decreasing, automatically resources will be increased, automatically resources will be decreased. So this is all about resources for CPUs, RAM, ROM. That is all about vertical auto-scaling. Whenever you want to increase CPUs, RAM, ROM, that is all about vertical auto-scaling. So it is called vertical auto-scaling. So then let me explain what is mean by horizontal auto-scaling. For suppose, same, just take this application only. My Flipkart application has has 10 servers, 10 EC2 instance. Okay, for running my application, for running my application. So these 10 servers will manage around 5 lakh customers traffic. Okay, that is all about 5 lakh customers traffic. For suppose when it increase up to 10 lakh, the traffic is increasing about up to 10 lakh. So that time how can you manage your servers? Because of 10 servers will manage only 5 lakh customers traffic. But if the traffic is increasing 10 lakhs traffic, these 10 servers will not handle or will not manage your application load or traffic to make running your application. So that is the reason only you should increase more servers. So that is called about horizontal auto-scaling. So whenever you are going to increasing the servers, more servers, that is all about horizontal auto-scaling. For suppose traffic is decreasing, decreasing up to 3 lakhs, 3 lakh customers, 3 lakhs traffic, 3 lakh customers. So that time I need only 7 servers. So you need to decrease your servers because of you have to save amount to your client. So that is the reason only vertical auto-scaling. Vertical auto-scaling is nothing but if the traffic is decreasing, automatically resources will be increased. If the traffic is decreasing, automatically resources will be decreased. Then same horizontal auto-scaling. When it comes to the horizontal auto-scaling, the traffic is increasing. it will increase more servers. Then traffic is decreasing, it will increase your servers, rest of servers. Whatever the servers are not in use, so automatically it will decrease. So this is all about auto scaling. So that is the reason only Docker will not handle this auto scaling concept. So that is the reason only we are going with the Kubernetes. So this is all about Docker disadvantages. Yes, in auto scaling. So what is the scalability? See, scalability is nothing but scalability and auto scaling is both are very similar. So what is auto scaling utilization and increase of resources of instances as per the need traffic or roam increases. See, not only for resources, it is for servers also. See, that is the reason only I explained. In auto scaling, is two type of auto scaling we have. One is vertical auto scaling, one is horizontal auto scaling. Vertical auto scaling will increase resources like CPUs, RAM, ROM. Horizontal auto scaling is nothing but it will increase servers, more servers. So that is all about what horizontal auto scaling, vertical auto scaling. We cannot use load balancer because of Docker is not compatible with, so we are unable to use horizontal autoscaling. I'm talking about servers. Yes. So horizontal autoscaling is preferred for load balancing. Load balancer. No, horizontal autoscaling is preferred servers, not for load balancer. Load balancer is different. Okay. Take a break for 15 minutes. Yes, autoscaling. Horizontal autoscaling is part of under autoscaling. You are trying to explaining autoscaling plus horizontal autoscaling. It is a sub-concept of autoscaling. Okay, everyone take a break for 15 minutes. We will discuss, we will continue our session by 8:50. Go for a break. I will answer all your questions at the end of the session after 9 p.m. Don't bother about it. Just keep your questions with you. Just after 8:50 and 9, you can post your question in the chat box. I will explain, I will answer each and every question. Don't bother. Go for a break. Yes, go for a break, everyone. Come back by 8:15. Yeah. Hey guys, I hope you came back. Can someone confirm the chat box? Then I will continue our session. Yes, thank you. So we are discussing about Docker disadvantages. So why, what are the Docker disadvantages? So all these things we have discussed. Okay, now let me explain. So this is the reason only we are going with the cluster, Kubernetes concept. So for suppose if Docker will support this concept, these advantages, for suppose self-healing, self-sufficient, load balancer, auto scaling, there is no need to go, there is no need to use Kubernetes. Need to understand about Kubernetes. So that's why we are going with the Kubernetes concepts. So now let me explain what is what is Kubernetes? Why Kubernetes? See, before explaining what is Kubernetes, you should understand about two type of architectures. See, one is monolithic architecture. So let me explain. You should understand about two architectures. One is sorry, I am forgetting to share my screen. Yeah, look at the screen. So you need to understand about before going to discussing what is mean by Kubernetes, what is why Kubernetes. First, let me explain two architecture. You have to understand about two type of architectures. So what are they? Let me explain. So first one is monolithic architecture. Monolithic architecture. Monolithic architecture. So what is mean by monolithic architecture? So let me take one real-time one flowchart. Then it is easy to understand to explaining what is mean by monolithic architecture. See, there is what let me yeah. See, this is a restaurant. Let me explain. So this is a restaurant. Let me add some color. This is a restaurant. Yeah. So this is a restaurant. So let me explain. So what is meant by monolithic architecture? See, imagine there is a restaurant. So the where everything happens in one big kitchen. See, you can take a restaurant. Definitely there will be a kitchen. Assume this is a kitchen. This is kitchen, one big kitchen. So this kitchen only will serve food for entire restaurant. See, entire restaurant means there will be a pub. There will be a pub. There will be a pub. There will be a function hall. There will be a function hall. There will be a function hall. There will be a auditorium. There will be a auditorium. There will be a auditorium. There will be a rooms. Rooms. There will be a rooms. There will be a dining hall. 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 So some more services are available based on the restaurant. So definitely you can take any restaurant. There will be a kitchen. There will be a dining hall, pub, function hall, rooms, auditorium. See, for dining hall, we can have a lunch or food. In function hall also we can have a lunch. In room, there will be a special rooms. See, someone wish to have their breakfast, lunch, dinner inside the room only. So the hotel staff will be serve the food to the customers' rooms only. Similarly, auditorium. See, in auditorium, sometimes meetings, functions are happening. So that time they're supposed to have a snacks. So for dining hall, for rooms, for function hall, for pub, for auditorium. See, for these 5 services are available. For these dining hall, pub, rooms, auditorium, who will serve the food or snacks, whatever it may be, any item related to the food or related to the food. So there is a one big kitchen only. So this big kitchen only will serve the food. Let me second. Okay. So this one big kitchen only will serve the food. For suppose to dining hall, to the auditorium, to the pub, to the function hall, to the rooms. So this is there is a interrelation connection between the kitchen and dining hall, pub, function hall, rooms, auditorium. For suppose the kitchen handles taking orders, cooking food, and serving customers all in a single place. Okay. See, there from some people are available. Some people are there in dining hall. Some people are there in pub. Some people are there in function hall, in room, in auditorium. See, for all these people, there is only one place to get food. That is all about kitchen. So that is a real-time analogy. For suppose in this scenario, if the kitchen gets too crowded, that means the kitchen, let me explain. See, in basically the restaurant, the restaurant can manage around 1,000 customers only in a day. The restaurants can manage around 1,000 customers per day. Around customers per day. So this is the normal scenario. But when it comes to weekends, when it comes to weekends, definitely the customers visiting is increasing. For suppose 5,000 in weekends, customers 5,000 customers are increasing, visiting the applications per day in a weekend. So, but they have arranged for managing only 1,000 customers to the in the restaurant. So, for suppose for 1,000 customers, the kitchen can handle for providing, for supplying for preparing the food. But when it comes to 5,000 customers to the restaurant, so how the kitchen will manage how the kitchen will serve the food for all 5,000 customers? Because of, for suppose in this scenario, if the kitchen gets too crowded or if there is a problem with one part of the kitchen, it can affect the entire restaurant's operations. That means the dining hall will be disturbed, pub will be disturbed, function hall will be disturbed, rooms will be disturbed, order will be disturbed. When if anything happen, if kitchen will be disturbed, See, when thing it is goes wrong, something is goes wrong in kitchen. For suppose chef is sick, chef is not available, some gas is not available, ingredients are not sufficient. So whatever it may be, if anything goes wrong in kitchen, the entire restaurant will be disturbed. So this is all about monolithic architecture. That means if one service, if one service is got done, definitely the impact will be reflect on the remaining services. The impact will be reflect on the remaining service. So this is the monolithic architecture. That means if you deploy your application, in a monolithic architecture, for suppose, let me take another example also. So there is a Flipkart application. This is my Flipkart application. This is my Flipkart application. See, Flipkart application has serving some different servers, services. For suppose this is order service. This is order service. This is wish list service. This is wish list service. This is a wish list service. This is wish list service. This is cart service, cart page. This is a cart service. This is coupon service. Coupon service. This is coupon service. This is account service, account details, profile details, account service. Then this is coin service. We will get once for some free coins, right? So let me explain with this application. Yeah. So my application has been deployed by following the monolithic architecture. By following the monolithic architecture. So there is an interrelation between the services. Let me make connection between the services. Okay, there is a here there is a main URL. This is my application URL. This is our application URL. So then let me. This is the application URL. So whenever users click on the URL, firstly, the request will come to the there is a relation. There is interrelation between the services. If you follow the monolithic architecture. So this is so from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. From here to here. From here to here. See, there is a interrelation. There is a interrelation between these services. For suppose, unfortunately, car service is not working. Car service is not working. See, the impact will be reflected entire the application. So user cannot access the order service, wish list, coupon service, coin service, account service, whatever it may be, the entire application will be disturbed. Similarly, restaurant also. So if you follow the monolithic architecture, you will, if anything happen, something in that application, the entire application will be disturbed. The entire application will be goes down. So that is the reason only the impacting the entire dining the experience. So that is all about monolithic architecture. So what are the key differences? See, monolithic architecture is like a single kitchen. That means it will handle all tasks. But how can we resolve this? Problem? There is a monolithic architecture. See, for suppose, let me explain. So let me take another architecture also. So that is all about microservices. Microservice architecture. See, there is a solution to resolving the monolithic architecture. That is all about microservices. So let me explain that one also. Microservices architecture. So what is mean by microservice architecture? So there is a best example for microservice architecture. So let me explain. See, let me recap about monolithic. See, monolithic is nothing but if the chef is sick, the entire kitchen will be disturbed. The impact will be the impact will be on entire restaurant. So that time, next time the users will not wish to come to the same restaurant. So they will go to the another restaurant. So that is the reason only the restaurant has to resolve this problem. How the restaurants will resolve this problem? There is a solution. That is all about monolithic microservice architecture. So let me take one real-time example. Then it is easy to understand. So there is a Zomato or Swiggy application is there. Currently, we are using Zomato and Swiggy. So let me add some color. Zomato and Swiggy or Zomato or Swiggy. So let me name it. There is a app application Zomato or Swiggy. Zomato or Swiggy. Okay. So let me explain what is mean by microservice. See, microservice is nothing but, see, for suppose nowadays, consider a food delivery app like Zomato and Swiggy. See, instead of having one big kitchen, they have a network of different restaurants. For suppose, there is a restaurant. The restaurant has only one big kitchen. For suppose, if the kitchen is disturbed, they won't serve the food to their customers. So definitely, customers will go to the another hotel, another restaurant. So, but there is no option for providing the food to the restaurant. That means they don't have another kitchen. For serving the food to the customers. Whenever their kitchen got disturbed. So, but there is a Zomato and Swiggy. See, consider it is a instead of having one big kitchen, the Zomato and Swiggy have a network different restaurants. For suppose each specializing in a specific type of regional food or regional food. For suppose when you place an order, it's not prepared in a single kitchen. Rather than each restaurant has one restaurant. That means, for suppose there is a, let me name it. It is, for suppose in a Bangalore, there is a Meghna restaurant. There is a casual restaurant. There is a there is another restaurant. Okay. See, there is a user. Bangalore peoples are there is in Bangalore. People are using, not only in Bangalore, entire world, people are using Zomato and Swiggy for ordering their food, not only food, groceries also. So nowadays they are delivering groceries also. For suppose now there is a Meghna restaurant. Let me name it. It's a Meghna restaurant. There is a casual restaurant. There is another restaurant, name it B restaurant. There is a D restaurant. So let me name it to A, B, C, D. See, there is a restaurant, there is a B restaurant, there is a C restaurant, there is a D restaurant. See, B restaurant is famous for veg foods. See, C restaurant is famous for non-veg. B restaurant is famous for fast food. D restaurant is famous for seafood. Okay. Now, one person, some people want only veg food. Some people wants only non-veg food. Some people wants only fast food. Some people wants only seafood. So how Swiggy or Zomato are satisfying their customers' orders? Because of they don't have any kitchen. Zomato doesn't have any kitchen. Swiggy doesn't have any kitchen. But they are tie up with restaurants, different restaurants. For suppose some restaurants will have let me take another restaurant. See, there is another restaurant also available. Let me take. There is another restaurant in Bengaluru only. Now, the restaurant has veg food, non-veg food, and fast food, and seafood. See, they are serving veg food and non-veg food, fast food and seafood. For suppose some people wants only veg food, but they are ordering. They wanted to get food from a restaurant only, but unfortunately, a restaurant is not working. Then what will happen? The Zomato will give suggestion. Will tell the customer, hey customer, a restaurant is not available. Today is not the restaurant is closed, but there is another option. There is another restaurant. You can order you can order food for you from other restaurant. They are also providing non-veg food. For suppose some customers want to only non-veg food, but unfortunately the restaurant has been closed. So that time Swiggy or Zomato will suggest to the customer, hey customer, that the restaurant C is not working. It's closed. Please try to order food from another restaurant where they are serving non-veg also. So like that, they will guide their customers to order from another restaurants. That means, for suppose this restaurant A is not working, but the impact will not reflected on Zomato application or Swiggy application, because of they have multiple resources. They have other resources. That means they are dividing their application into microservices. So this is called microservice architecture. Whenever you deploy any application by following the microservices, for suppose there is application, Flipkart application. My Flipkart application has been deployed by following the microservice architecture. But unfortunately, order service got down. But the impact will be on only order service, but not entire the application. The application will be work, but remaining service can access the customer. Remaining service can access, no problem, because of the application has been deployed by following the microservice architecture. But if we follow the monolithic architecture, if any service got disturbed, entire application will be disturbed. So that is the reason only we have to understand about microservice architecture and monolithic architecture. So this is the difference between monolithic and architecture. So what are the key differences between the monolithic and architecture? For suppose monolithic architecture is like a single kitchen handling the all tasks, while microservices architecture is like a multiple specialized restaurants working together. So that is the key difference. And also monolithics are typically easier to set up and manage initially. That means it is easy to set up one restaurant. See, within few months, within few weeks, it is easy to set up a restaurant. But when it comes to multiple restaurants, it is not possible. That means if you want to deploy any application in a monolithic architecture, it is easy to deploy, but it is not easy to maintain. But when it comes to monolithic, it is not easy to set up a monolithic architecture, monolithic service architecture for deploying your application. It is very complex. It is very complex, but it is very easy. It is very easy to maintain the application. That is the difference between monolithic and architecture, microservice architecture. See, monolithic can have a single point of failure, while microservices are more fault tolerant, because of a failure in one microservice does not necessarily affect the other service. That means, so that is all about, these are the key differences between microservices architecture and monolithic architectures. So now let me explain what is mean by Kubernetes. So that means Kubernetes is following microservice architecture. Okay, that's why I explained before explaining Kubernetes. That's why I explained monolithic architecture and microservice architecture. Kubernetes is following monolithic architecture. So now let me explain what is mean by Kubernetes. See, it is very, very important. Kubernetes is hard for DevOps. Kubernetes is hard for DevOps. So now let me explain what is mean by Kubernetes. See, it is a why I named K8s rather than Kubernetes. Let me name it Kubernetes. I will explain why we are calling Kubernetes as K8s. Let me explain. So it is a containerization, container management tool. Container management tool, and it's a orchestration tool. It's a container orchestration tool. It's a container orchestration tool. So what is mean by, let me explain. What is mean by container management tool? What is mean by orchestration, container orchestration tool? See, there is a word, you have to focus the word on management, container management. See, what is mean by container management? That means Kubernetes is going to managing your container. Kubernetes, remember, Kubernetes never create any container. Docker only will create the container, but Kubernetes is going to managing your container. So that is the reason we are calling it is a Kubernetes is nothing but a container management tool. Then what about orchestration tool? See, in if you take Kubernetes, there are multiple objects are there. There are multiple resources are there. So you need to manage. First, let me take this restaurant. See, the restaurant has kitchen. The restaurant has dining hall, manager, a pub, function hall, rooms, auditorium. But there is a manager. There is in the restaurant, there is a manager to manage entire the restaurant. So who will manage this the entire services in a restaurant? Manager only. Similarly, in Kubernetes, if you take Kubernetes cluster, in Kubernetes cluster also, you have, let me stop it. In Kubernetes cluster also, you have so many resources. You have so many resources. So you need to manage all resources. You need to manage all resources. So how can you manage all resources? There is a manager in Kubernetes. That is all about orchestration. So that is the reason only we are calling Kubernetes is nothing but container management tool and orchestration tool. So orchestration is nothing but it is going to managing all your objects of your Kubernetes cluster. So then what about cluster? So we have discussed about what is Kubernetes. It is all about a container management tool and orchestration tool. Then what about cluster? Kubernetes is nothing but cluster. Cluster is nothing but Kubernetes. See, Kubernetes cluster is nothing but combination of nodes. Cluster is nothing but it is a combination of nodes. So that is all about Kubernetes cluster. So then let me explain when Kubernetes was introduced, when K8s was introduced or invented. So this is all about now it is the now you understood why we are going with the Kubernetes. So monolithic or microservice architecture. Then what is Kubernetes? It is a container management tool and container orchestration tool. Then what is cluster? It is a combination of nodes. Then you have to understand about when Kubernetes was invented, or let me explain. See, Kubernetes is introduced into the current market in 2014. In 2014, Kubernetes was introduced. Kubernetes in 2014, Kubernetes was came to the market by whom? By Google. That means Kubernetes was developed by the Google only. Google was introduced Kubernetes into the market in 2014. Then now in 2014 only, sorry, in 2013, not 14. In 2013, Kubernetes was created by Google in 2013 in a Go language. In a Go language. In a Go language. Go is one of the oldest language. Go language. That is all about Go language. Then international about in 2014. In 2014, Google has donated this Kubernetes to whom? CNCF. So what is mean by CNCF? CNCF is mean by Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Cloud Native Computing Foundation. That means currently Kubernetes was managing by the CNCF. It's a organization or a foundation. So that is a history of Kubernetes. In 2012, in 2013, it was released into the Kubernetes into the market by Google in Go language. Then in 2014, they have donated this Kubernetes to the CNCF Foundation. Now, currently, Kubernetes is managing by the or operating by the CNCF Foundation only. So that is the brief history of CNCF. So now let me explain what are the supported languages by the Kubernetes. Languages supported by K8s. So what are the languages supported by the K8s? So that is all about YAML and JSON. I will explain later what is mean by YAML, what is mean by JSON. JSON I think you know about, but YAML is a new for you guys. So that is the supported language by the Kubernetes. So now let me explain what are the features are in Kubernetes. It is very, very important. See, you have to understand about K8s features. K8s features. Now let me explain. Already we have covered some features in Docker disadvantages. That is all about self-healing, load balancer, auto-scaling. These three features will come under the Kubernetes. That means Kubernetes is offering those services which Docker is not supporting. So first, let me explain Kubernetes features. The first feature is, see, already I explained what is mean by auto-scaling. See, if you deploy any application in a container, if you deploy any application in a Kubernetes, into Kubernetes, see, the traffic, whenever traffic is increasing, automatically Kubernetes will increase your resources like CPUs, RAM, ROM, and also automatically Kubernetes will increase more servers based upon your traffic, application traffic. For suppose the traffic is decreasing, automatically Kubernetes will decrease your CPUs, RAM, ROM, and also Kubernetes will decrease your servers when the traffic is decreasing. So that is all about auto scaling. Then let me explain auto healing. Already we have discussed about auto healing. See, auto healing is nothing but whenever any pod got deleted. See, here you need to understand about pod. See, what is mean by pod. So let me explain. See, Kubernetes is all about the pod. That means you are going to deploying your container inside the pod only. For suppose someone will ask, there is a cluster. Inside the cluster, actually where the application is going to run. This is the question. You should say answer pod. Pod only pod only will deploy your application. Inside the pod only your application will be run. So that is all about pod. So what is pod? It is a smallest deployable unit. It is a smallest deployable unit. It is a smallest deployable unit. So that is all about pod. That means if any pod got deleted, if any pod got deleted or crashed or down, immediately Kubernetes cluster will create a new pod. Then there is no chance to get application downtime. So that is the reason only we are going with the Kubernetes. That means whenever any pod got deleted, crashed down, immediately Kubernetes will heal the pod. Okay, that is all about it will repair the pod automatically. That is all about auto healing. Then load balancer. Already we have discussed about load balancer. So that's why I'm not explaining about what is load balancer. That means Kubernetes will handle load balancer. Don't bother about traffic. Once your application is deployed in a cluster, in a Kubernetes cluster, don't bother about your application traffic. Kubernetes only will manage n number of customers traffic. That is all about load balancer. That means with the help of load balancing, Kubernetes distribute the traffic between the containers equally. That means load balancer, Kubernetes, load balancer will distribute the traffic between the containers equally. Then fourth feature. What is the fourth feature? Platform independent. So what is mean by platform independent? So let me explain what is mean by platform independent. See, it is nothing but Kubernetes can work on any type of infrastructure, whether it is a on-premises, virtual servers, any cloud. That means it will work on anywhere, any infrastructure. It may be on premises. See, on premises nothing but local server. On premises, that means you can run your application on premises in local server also. Then virtual machines, that it is nothing but EC2 servers. Then any cloud. We have 4 types of cloud providers. That is AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle. That means Kubernetes will support all type of on-premises, all type of servers, all type of cloud providers. This is called platform independent. Then what is the fifth feature? Fault tolerance. You have to understand about fault tolerance. So what is mean by fault tolerance? Let me explain. See, fault tolerance is nothing but Kubernetes helps to notify any nodes or pods fail. See, I explained here. Cluster is nothing but combination of nodes. And Kubernetes, your application will be deployed inside the pod. For suppose, if any node got fail, if any pod got fail, so who will notify this particular node is getting delayed, that particular node got deleted, that particular pod got down. So who will notify all this information? That is all about fault tolerance. See, with the help of fault tolerance, Kubernetes will notify you, hey DevOps engineer, one node got deleted, one pod got down. Please take a look on it. So like that, fault tolerance will notify you. That is all about fault tolerance. Then what is the sixth feature? This is all about rollback. So what is mean by rollback? Let me explain. It is easy to understand about rollback. See, for suppose rollback is nothing but, for suppose you can easily switch to the previous version. That means currently Kubernetes has multiple versions: version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. For suppose you are using version 3, but version 3 is not you are not satisfied with version 3, but you want to switch to the previous version. So it is possible. That means Kubernetes is offering rollback feature. Where you enable to can switch to the previous version. That is all about rollback. Then seventh feature. So what is the seventh feature? Health monitoring of containers. Health monitoring of containers. That means you are going to deploying your container inside the Kubernetes cluster. That is all about health monitoring of container. That means whenever any container got deleted, whenever any container not working, whenever any container got crashed. See, at Kubernetes only will manage your container's health. Kubernetes will monitor your container's health. So that is all about seventh feature. Then last one and eighth feature, that is all about orchestration. Already we have discussed about what is mean by orchestration. See, orchestration is nothing but which is going to managing all your Kubernetes objects. See, pod is one of the object, deployment is one of the object, replica set, service, ingress, config maps, secrets, all these all are objects. These objects are going to managing by the orchestration. So that is all about Kubernetes feature. So now you understand why I am mentioning K8s features, because of Kubernetes is offering 8 features. So that's why we are calling Kubernetes as a K8s. See, if you work any company, if you go to real-time environment, someone usually people will call, hey, what is the status of your K8s? So you should know about you should have know about K8s is a Kubernetes. So this is all about what is Kubernetes, why Kubernetes, what is monolithic architecture, what is microservice architecture, what is cluster, what is the history of Kubernetes, what are the languages supported by the Kubernetes, what is the pod, what are the Kubernetes features. So this is the Kubernetes introduction. Okay. Now there are some more concepts or need to discuss. Tomorrow we will discuss. So far, if you have any questions, please you can ask. Not Ganesh code. Should I explain difference between monolithic and microservice again? Ganesh? Yeah. Let me explain. See, what is the difference between, let me share my screen again. So what is the difference between monolithic and microservice architecture? Let me explain. See, monolithic architecture is nothing but the restaurant has one big kitchen where everything happens in that one big kitchen. For suppose if the kitchen is got struck, if the kitchen chef is on leave, if the kitchen chef is sick, so that time the impact will be the entire effect will be on entire restaurant. So that means the kitchen will be disturbed, entire restaurant will be disturbed. For suppose similarly application also, if any one of the service goes down, definitely rest of the services also goes down. The rest of services also will not work. So that is about monolithic. Monolithic. Now what is mean by microservice? See, you are going to dividing your application. See, this is my Flipkart application. You are going to dividing your application into small parts. That means microservices. So you are going to dividing your application into the small parts. For suppose out of these microservices, if any service will not work, see the impact will the impact only will be on these services only, not other services. Other services will not disturb. The services can work. Don't bother about. So if you are going with monolithic architecture, if any service goes down, if any service goes down, the entire application will be go down. For suppose, if any microservice goes down, only that microservice will not work, but your application will be work. There is no any downtime for your application. So that is the difference between monolithic architecture and microservice architecture. Okay, clear? Still someone have any questions, please you can ask. Don't hesitate to ask questions. You can please ask. If anyone, like, why Kubernetes is also called KATS, already explained. Let me show you, let me share my screen. Why Kubernetes is also called KATS is nothing but Kubernetes is offering 8 features. See, look at the screen. Kubernetes is offering 8 features. So that's why we are calling Kubernetes as KATS. Clear? Yeah, okay. Thank you guys. In AWS, if you want to implement autoscaling, there is a service I will explain tomorrow. With practical approach, I will explain how to implement autoscaling. Don't bother. Tomorrow I will explain it. Not tomorrow. I think tomorrow there is no. We don't have any class. I think on Monday next class. Yeah.
Okay, sir, we'll wind up for the day.
Okay.
So, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, students, as sir informed, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, we don't have a session. We are meeting again on Monday. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Good night.